this world is coming to.
From the world-famous Blackbird Studios, it's the Rave X Podcast. And now, Rave X.
Hell yeah, baby, it's your boy Rave. Welcome to my show, the Rave X Podcast, episode 30. Wow, 30? Yes! A little episode I like to call First Date Nightmare, or The Long Walk. And you know something? Hold on. I got my iced coffee right here. So happy to be podcasting to you guys on a nice, sunny, incredibly hot Sunday afternoon from the Blackbird Studios. And let me tell you something, kids. I wasn't going to let the heat stop me from podcasting and putting out a good show, because I love podcasting like fat kids love cake. Hey, let's dive in. So, a few years back, man, I worked at this store, and to my pleasant surprise, there was an incredibly beautiful a girl who worked there. Her name was Rochelle, or something to that effect. And she was French. Her parents were from France. She was here. And so we kind of hit it off, man. And we used to go in the back on our lunch breaks and have cigarettes. I'd always roll her a smoke, you know what I mean? And she was really cool, really nice girl, man. And, you know, over a short period of time, like, a couple of weeks, we took a bit of a liking to each other. So we had never really hung out outside of work, you know what I mean? It was always, go out, have a smoke break, and most of the times our shifts didn't even overlap. I would come in, she'd be leaving, we'd hang out for a bit, and finally she was like, look, man, I'm feeling it, bro. And I'm like, all right, cool, let's hang out, let's do this. And she's like, all right, well, this Saturday. And I said, yeah, I work, so I'm gonna have to run home and change and shower, because guys, look, don't ever go on a date with a woman or go to a woman's house unless you've gone home and showered. You know what I mean? Like, have some respect. Put on some nice clothes. Maybe shave. A little bit of aftershave, but not too much, guys. I'm serious about that. So she's like, yeah, no problem. I said, all right, so I'll get off at 8, and let me just go home. Then I'll come to your house. So she writes down the directions to her house. She's like, it's kind of far. You got to catch the bus from Harvard Square all the way to the last stop in like North Arlington somewhere. And then you got to walk like 2 blocks to the house. And when you see the video store on the corner, that's, whatever road it was, Main Road or whatever, Main Street, take a right. My house is on the left, number 76, right? So that's what I do. I race home, I shower, I change, shave a little bit of aftershave, man, I'm ready to go. Run back to Harvard Square, hop on that bus, man. I get off, and this was a long bus ride, man. It was pretty far, and I had never really been to this part of that town before. So I'm looking for a house, and I find it, ring the doorbell. And let me say this, guys. When she opened the door, I was like, wow. I had only really seen her at work, but she was looking good, right? So she invites me in. We hang out, man. She knows I like rum. She likes rum, too. So she mixes us some strong rum and cokes, and we're just pounding rum and cokes. And then, we're on opposite ends of her couch, and we're slowly creeping towards each other, sort of, getting closer and closer to each other, right? And she looks at me, and she says, you want to get high? And I'm like, hell yeah, So she pulls out her stash, man, packs us up a bowl of the stickiest of the ickiest, and we're smoking up, man. And, I'm pacing myself. I don't want to be too drunk or too stoned, you know what I mean? I got a beautiful woman here. I don't need all this stuff. This is just the, help the evening go where it should go. And we're hanging out, and I notice she's got this really nice necklace around her neck. And I said, oh, that's really nice. Where'd you get that from? And she says, oh, Matt gave it to me. And I'm like, oh, okay. Okay, Matt, yeah. Oh, okay, all right. So we're watching a movie. It was Batman Forever. And I'd seen it before, but we're watching it, hanging out, I'm like, oh, Matt, brother, roommate, dad. And she goes, no, Matt's someone I'm dating. And I'm like, what? Yeah, someone you're dating. And I'm thinking to myself, well, what am I doing here, And I said, oh, you have a boyfriend. I guess I got the signals crossed. I kind of thought. And she goes, oh, no, it's fine. It's fine. I mean, I had to cancel with Marcos tonight so that we could hang out, but that's all right. And I go, Marcos? Who's Marcos? And she goes, oh, Marcos is a guy I'm dating. And I look at her, right? And I'm like, so you're dating Marcos and this other guy? How many dudes you dating? And she looks like up in the air and she starts counting on her hand, right? Like, well, there's Marcos and then there's Dave and then sometimes I date Seth and I guess you. And I'm kind of looking at her like, what's going on here? Like, so I'm going to be number 5, your fifth suitor for the week. Like, what's going on here, And she looks at me and she goes, oh, is that a problem? And I look at her and I'm like, well, when you say dating, what do you mean? Like, are you sleeping with these 4 dudes and now I'm going to be another dude? Like, what's going on? And she looks at me and she does like just a very casual count, like, well, Marco I've slept with, and Dave we've only gone down on each other, but like Seth we haven't slept with yet. And I'm like, whoa, hold on, time out, man. Maybe this isn't the situation I need to be in right now. And look, a woman has a right to do whatever they want, and I have a right to not like it. And at the end of the day, it's just that simple, right? Now, guys, look, I've had friends and roommates, especially roommates, who are just like, I will have sex with anything regardless of what's going on. I don't care if she's married, if she's 300 pounds, if she's got 4 kids, if she's missing limbs. Saturday night, time to get laid. I will bang a hole in a wall if you paint it the proper shade of pink. Now, your boy Rave X has never been like that. You guys know me. I have class, dignity. But at the same time, man, this was a super beautiful French girl who I really liked, man. And I'm just trying to weigh all this in my head. Like, I kind of wish she had told me this before I, made this long hour journey into, like, North Arlington. And, it was getting late because we were hanging out and stuff. And at this point, the train and the buses have kind of stopped running, Like, maybe if I left right then, I could catch the last bus. But I'm still trying to figure out, like, is she going to say, I'm joking, I was just testing you, I'm not dating anyone else. So anyway, we're talking about how she's dating, multiple men. And look, maybe there's nothing wrong with that, guys. But for me, I just didn't want to be number 4 or 5 sharing a woman. You know what I mean? Call me old-fashioned. So I'm sitting there trying to take all this in, and she looks at me and she's like, yeah, that's what I do. I just have multiple boyfriends and they buy me stuff and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, man, that's kind of not where I thought this evening was going to go. And she's like, oh, so you have a problem with that? And I go, yeah, I kind of have a problem with that, Rochelle. And she's like, oh, okay, well, I'll be right back. I'm going to hit the bathroom. And she goes to the bathroom, and I'm just sitting there watching Batman Forever and, hitting the pipe, enjoying my rum and coke, trying to figure out what the hell I'm going to do. And then I think, well, maybe we would just be friends. We'll hang out, whatever. And then I notice the movie's kind of coming to an end, and I'm watching the credits go up the screen, and it's like, she's been in the bathroom for a really long time. What's going on, And I get up, and I look, and the door's open to the bathroom, and the light's off. And I look to where her bedroom is, and the light's off, and the door's closed, and I'm going, did she escape out the window? Is this even her house? Am I being set up here? Is Chris Hansen about to come out and say, do you know how old this girl is, So I gently knock on her door, and she opens the door, and she looks like she's already been asleep. Like she's in her, she put on her bathrobe and stuff, and she's kind of looking at me with tired, sleepy eyes. And I go, so, what's going on here? And she's like, yeah, I took a shower, and I'm kind of tired right now. Like, would you mind just kind of like seeing yourself out? Maybe we'll hang out again another time. But yeah, I think I'm just going to go to bed now. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Yo, I'm not going to lie, man. Your boy Rave X found himself in a super messed up situation, dude. Like, this was so insane. I thought this was going to go like the greatest night of my life with this super hot girl. And now she just kind of left me on the couch. She showered for whatever reason. And now she just went to bed. Like, just F you, Rave X, I don't care, whatever. And now she's asking me, can I just see myself out? And I'm looking around, man, and I look at my watch, and it's like 1:37 in the morning or something like that. And I go, yeah, no problem. All right, well, this was fun. I'll see you at work. And she's like, yeah, okay, thanks. But and she's like closing the door to her bedroom, like kind of like, yeah, you go do something with yourself, Rave. And I'm like, all right, man. Now, I realize what happened. Because there's a thing that I call HCF. It stands for hot chick fatigue, or hot chick syndrome. And that's when a woman is so beautiful and they're so used to guys throwing themselves at them and getting everything that they want, when they want it, how they want it, that when you say, like, no to a super attractive woman or you disagree with them, like, their brain doesn't really know how to process that because they're so used to getting everything they want. And it's a real thing. People are going to give me shit for it. But you ask a super beautiful woman if they usually get what they want, the answer is yes, and they rarely hear the word no. So when I express my sort of, I don't want to say disgust, but my, I'm not into dating a girl who's sleeping with multiple guys, her brain was like, yeah, well, F you. I'll just find another dude. And she just went to her room. So anyway, I go back. I sit on the couch. Batman Forever's off. And I'm looking around. And I said, all right, well, I guess I have to take the long walk. Which brings us to chapter 2. Rave takes the walk, man. And, you know, every once in a while in a man's life, you have to take the walk. And it's not the sort of literal long walk. It's just, you have to do the job, man. You know what I mean? You have to do what's right, even if that means you're in a bad situation. Because what else was I going to do? Was I just going to hang out there and be like, yeah, let's get it on and have sex with, let me kiss you so I can taste what 5 other guys had for lunch. Wasn't going to happen. Not your boy Rave, right? So I'm looking down, and I see she left her bag of weed there. And I'm like, all right, well, let me roll myself a little joint. Just for the walk home. And I roll myself a little joint, put it in my pocket, man. I put it in my headphones. I fire up Alice in Chains' Facelift. And I leave the house, man, and I start walking. Now, this was probably, I don't know, maybe 7 miles, which, you know, there are longer walks to take. But when you're, you know, tipsy off of rum and coke and you're still a little bit stoned and you thought you were going to be spending the night with a beautiful girl, this ain't the walk that you want to be doing. So I just start walking, man, and it was pretty much a straight line to my house, just a long 7-mile straight line with, you know, one turn at the end. And I start walking, man. Luckily, it was a nice night, and I had some music going, you know, and I'm, you know, smoking a couple of cigarettes. And then, I guess I was walking kind of slow because it's getting late or early, depending on how you look at it. And I see the guy driving the van who drops off the newspapers, right? So it's probably 2:30 in the morning at this point. And I said, hey, man, I noticed you're going down the road here, you know, I missed the last bus in the train. Can I just ride with you? Like, I'll even help you throw the newspapers out. At this point, I had already walked like 3 miles, you know, and my feet were getting tired. And he kind of looks at me and he goes, oh, you know, it's a company truck. Can't let anyone in the truck. So the funny thing was, I would walk a block, then he would pull up next to me and throw newspapers out to the convenience store. Then he'd pull up a block and I'd catch up to him and he'd throw newspapers out. So the whole time I'm seeing this guy in the van and I'm going, I just wish I could be in this air-conditioned van with this guy. And he said, no, whatever. So eventually, man, I had this joint in my pocket, and I said, okay, when I get a couple of blocks from my house, I'll spark up this joint. Because if I spark it now, I'm probably going to fall asleep on a step somewhere and just call it a night. So I walk and walk and walk, and I'm thinking about what happened, man. Definitely an effed up situation. And eventually, obviously, I get to my house, and I'm stoned, and I'm tired, and my feet hurt. And I go in and I sit down, and I just reflect on this girl, you know, like, What type of life is this? You know, where she's just whatever, guys. I don't want to sound like I'm slut-shaming her. But in a sense, yeah, you know, you are the things that you do, not the things that you say. When I saw her at work Monday, things were a little weird. She just kind of wouldn't look at me like, hey, no, hi. You know, and I said, hey, you want to have a smoke break? I'll roll you a smoke. She's like, no, it's okay. I've got cigarettes. So she gave me the constant cold shoulder. And eventually she just quit that job. And to be honest with you, man, I never saw her again. I lost her number, and it just was what it was. But boy, when these things happen, man, you think you're going to go one way, and then all of a sudden life throws you a curveball, and you end up going the other way. You got to kind of go with the flow. I didn't let it, bother me that much, and I went on to bigger and better things. Wow. What a story, guys. Anyway, I got stuff to do, man. This was the Rave X Podcast, episode 30, First Date Nightmare, The Long Walk. Do me a favor, click like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you don't know how to find the Rave X Podcast, all you gotta do is just Google it, bro. Just Google Rave X Podcast and I'll come out. My name's Rave X, and do me a favor, kids, remember this. Never try to climb a mountain that's leaning towards you. And never try to kiss a girl that's leaning away from you. Because either way, you're going to end up flat on your ass. My name's Rave X, and I'm out of here.
That was the Rave X Podcast. Be sure to click like and subscribe. For podcasts, new music, and all things Rave X, go to youtube.com and search Rave X Music.